Hey guys, this is Miss Ross again. All right, so today we're doing Fan 5, Week 9, and we're going to start with the Together column. All right, so the first question says, which division equation is shown by the area model? Oh, actually, before I get started, if you have not recorded your quadrilateral family anchor chart, let me zoom out so you can see this. If you have not recorded your quadrilateral family anchor chart, that you should have done this before before you get started on today's Fan 5. Because if you don't have this, you're not going to have a clue what to do when it comes to problem number 4. So this comes first, and then you can get started on this. All right, now let me zoom back in. Let me see if I can get it focused a little bit better so we can get started. All right, so you should hopefully have a paper copy of this in front of you. All right, so here we go. We've got which division equation is shown by the area model. Okay, so we learned, y'all have been practicing on area models using multiplication. So for example, if I've got a 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication problem and it is 35 times 76, you'll do 30 and 5 and 70 and 6, and then you put your factors in the middle here. Okay, after you multiply, you put your products in the middle, and then you can add them. Well, the same situation is going on here. Okay, so what this problem literally is if you add these three together, you got 30 plus 5 plus 2. Okay, so 30 plus 5 plus 2 is 37. Okay, that's on this side. Then on this side, you've got 82. So if this is a multiplication problem, you've got 35 times 82 equals whatever you have in the middle here. Okay, so if you had 35 and 82, you would take 2,460, you would add 410 to it, and then you would add 164 to that to get your product, because 82 times 30 is 2,460, 82 times 5 is 410, 82 times 2 is 164. Okay, and so you would add these together to get your product. So let's do that. 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 6 more is 13. Leave the 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 more is 10. Leave the 0, carry the 1, and then 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, so the multiplication equation for this is 37, because that's what's on this side, times 82 on the top gives you, these three things added together is 3,034. Okay, but be careful because this asks for what division equation is shown by this model. So you know that division is the opposite of multiplication. So you're going to take 3,034. You're going to divide it by, how about we just divide it by 82? Divide it by 82, and the answer is going to be 30 plus 5 plus 2 is 37. Okay, and that is your division equation for that model. You can't possibly figure out the division equation until you add together these products here in the middle. You can't do it. So first, take the numbers in the middle, add them up, then divide by one of the sides, and then you can add up that side to get your other factor. Okay, all right, next one. Rebecca is filling a cube-shaped box with small cubes. The volume of each of these cubes is 1 centimeter. She's already put some cubes into the box 9 blocks high. What is the total number of small cubes that will fit in the box? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a cube, all right? And I want you to do this with me. I want you to make a square. Miss Ross, this is so fun. I know, make a square. Put a little dot straight in the center of the cube. In the center of the square. Now, draw another square exactly the same size as the first one. Okay? And then what you can do is you can take your pen and you can connect the four sides, the four corners. Here, 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 and here. All right. So inside of this cube, what we know about a cube is that all sides are equal. All right, all sides are equal in a cube. Y'all know that. So what I want you to do is come in here and I want you to draw a little hash mark on every single side. This side is equal to this side, 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 is equal to this side. They're all exactly the same. Okay? So it says Rebecca is filling a cube-shaped box, okay, we've got that part, with small cubes. The volume of each of these cubes is 1 cubic centimeter. She's already put some cubes into the box 9 blocks high. So what that's saying is that Rebecca took 9 little squares and 9 little cubes and stacked them up on one side, and that is the height of the side. So what it's saying is that it is 9 cubes high. H-I-G-H. Okay, it is 9 cubes high. Well, Miss Ross, that doesn't help me. I don't know the length and the width to find the volume. Sure you do. The length times the width times the height, the height will give you the volume. And all you know right now is that the height is 9. But remember when I said all the sides are exactly the same and we came in here and we drew a hash for each one of them? Well, that means that the length is also 9 and that the width is also 9. So to get the length times the width times the height, you have to do 9 times 9 times 9. So I only know one side, but that's okay because all sides are equal in a cube. So 9 times 9 times 9 equals the volume. Miss Ross, I don't know 9 times 9 times 9. Well, you know 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81, right? So now you got to do 81 times 9. Miss Ross, I don't know 81 times 9. Okay, come over here and let's do it. I'm going to do it right here on the side next to 2. I'm going to do 81 times 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 8 is 72. So there we are. 72, 729. So you're going to come right over here. And where it says volume, you're going to write 729 because 9 times 9 times 9 is 729. You guys are geniuses. Okay. Cool? Cool. So even though you only know about one of the sides, you only know that it's 9 blocks high, that's okay. Because if you know the height, you know all the sides because all the sides are equal in a cube. All right, next one. Excuse me, let me cough and get some water real quick. All right, next one. Which expression has the same value as 2 plus 7 times 6? All right, well, first off, get out another sheet of paper because you have promised me that you are not going to be scared to use paper, extra paper to solve things. Okay, so here we go. And let me zoom out so we can see this better. Oh, no, that didn't help. Let's zoom back in and let's try to refocus. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, so first thing you have to do is you have to solve that problem. All right, so right down here, write 2 plus 7 in parentheses times 6. Let's just solve that part first because we got to figure out what we're trying to equal to, right? All right, so using order of operations is parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication and division, whichever one comes first, addition and subtraction, whichever one comes first. All right, so first we're going to do the parentheses. 2 plus 7 is 9. You're going to cross that out, write 9, and then write in the rest of the problem. 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54. So you're trying to figure out which one of these is equal to 54. All right, here we go. Let's start with A. I'm going to put A right here, and we're going to solve it out. All right, it says, and I am so sorry this is so blurry. Maybe I just need to, well, you'll have to trust me when I write them, okay? It doesn't show out very clearly. So I want you to write 4 plus 5 parentheses 3 plus 7. Now, what you need to know before we get started is that this 5 slammed right up next to this parentheses means 5 times. So you can go ahead if you want to and just put a little times symbol in there, okay? Because 4 plus 5 slammed up next to a parentheses means 4 plus 5 times 3 plus 1. 3 plus 7. All right, what do we do first? So we've got parentheses, then exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Let's do our parentheses first. So 3 plus 7, mark it out, is 10. Then write in the rest of the equation. 4 plus 5 times 10. Now what comes next? Well, we don't have any exponents, so we're going to do multiplication and division first. So now mark out 5 times 10 and write 50, because 5 times 10 is 50. Then you've got 4 plus 50 is 54. Miss Rose, there's that answer right there. Do we have to keep going? I am completely fine if you do not keep on going. If you've got your answer, you've got your answer. So come over here, and your answer is A is equal to 54. Okay, now just for giggles, I'm going to go ahead and solve B, C, and D just to make sure. So I've got B here. B is 4 plus 7, and I believe that that is, it is terrible. I think it's plus 11. I'm going to go with plus 11. Okay, so 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 11 is 22. That's not it. Then I'm going to do C. C is 3 plus 6 times 2 plus 4. All right, so first I'm going to do the parentheses. 2 plus 4 is 6. And then I'm going to write out the rest of the problem. 3 plus 6, and then remember that 6 slammed up next to a parentheses is times, is 6 times 6. Now you're going to do multiplication first. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 plus 36 is 39. And since you've got pizza going down to garlic sauce, you know you've done it correctly. And the last one is going to be D. D is 5 plus 4 in parentheses plus 14. All right, do the parentheses first. 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 14. 9 plus 14 is, I'm going to say, 23. And you've done it pizza to garlic sauce. All right, so you know your answer is A. So we're going to come over here and we're going to write A equals 54 because we're geniuses. All right, now for number 4. Yesterday, you guys worked on, well, not yesterday, maybe earlier today. I don't know when you wrote it down. But at some point, you had to write down the quadrilateral family. Okay, let me zoom out so you can see this. I asked you to write down the quadrilateral family. And I told you all about, and I'm going to focus in on this. I told you all about how there were many members of the quadrilateral family, but the main thing that you needed to know about them was that they all had 4 sides. So parallelograms have 4 sides, trapezoids have 4 sides, rhombuses have 4 sides, rectangles have 4 sides, and squares have 4 sides, okay? There are 2 brothers in the quadrilateral family. You've got Graham, also known as parallelogram, and Trapeze, also known as trapezoid. Trapezoid is kind of the odd man out. He's only got 1 pair of parallel sides, okay? He can look like this or he can look like this, all right? Now, Graham and all the members of his family, all his kids and his little dog down here they all have two pairs of parallel sides. This side and this side are parallel, and this side and this side are parallel, and their opposite sides are equal. So this side and this side are equal, this side and this side are equal. This side and this side are equal, this side and this side, okay? Parallelogram has twin boys, rhombus and rectangle. That's why they have the same letter of their last name, okay? Of their name. Rhombus and rectangle both start with an R. Both of them have four sides, except for they're a little bit different. Rhombus has four equal sides, and rectangle has four right angles, okay? Rhombus doesn't have four right angles, and rectangle doesn't have four equal sides, okay? And when they got their dog Square, they decided that they wanted their dog Square to have the same attributes as them. They wanted him to have four right angles from rectangle and four equal sides from the rhombus. So that is why their dog Square has both, okay? Remember, I told you that they are always the things that are above them. So a square is always a rhombus, it's always a parallelogram, it's always a quadrilateral, and it's always a rectangle. A rhombus is always a parallelogram and a quadrilateral. A rectangle is always a parallelogram and a quadrilateral, okay? And a trapezoid, the only thing he always is a quadrilateral. They are sometimes the things that are below them, and they are never the things that are not connected to them by a line. So a square is never a trapezoid. A rectangle is never a trapezoid because they're not connected by a line, okay? All right, knowing that information, we're gonna come up here and we're going to read this, and then we're gonna look at our quadrilateral family tree. It says all parallelograms are squares. So are all parallelograms squares? Well, the only thing that a parallelogram always is a quadrilateral. So that's not it. Next one, all parallelograms are rhombuses. Well, the only thing a parallelogram always is he's always a part of the quadrilateral family. But he's not always a rhombus. Sometimes he's a rhombus, sometimes he's a rectangle, and sometimes he's a square. All right, next one. Are all rectangles are squares? Well, that's not right. A rectangle is always a parallelogram, and he's always a quadrilateral, but only sometimes is he a square, okay? He's always the things above and only sometimes the things below. And then the last one is all squares are rhombuses. All squares are always rhombuses because they are always the things above it. And the reason why that is because the only rule to be a rhombus is that you have to have four equal sides, and a square always has four equal sides. So a square is always a rhombus. So you can come on here and say D. All squares have four equal sides. That's the only rule to be a rhombus. So D, all squares are rhombuses. All right, now I'm gonna zoom back in here and we're gonna do this one. I'm so sorry that this is so small, but you can handle it. Your children, you have very strong eyes. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to come in here and I want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath these teeny tiny numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? Same thing here. I want you to write 0 for the origin. Origin is 0, 0. And then I want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here, okay? All right, remember to label this. The bottom line is the x-axis and the top to bottom line is the y-axis. This is the y and this is the x. All right, so it says, which is the best way to describe the position of the heart on the coordinate plane in relation to the x and the y axis? Okay, so this is the y axis and this is the x axis, and here is the heart, okay? So first we're going to tell how far away the heart is from the x axis. So you're going to say it is 1 space from the x-axis. Because if it had to run away from the x-axis, the heart would be one space away from the x-axis, the bottom line. Now, how many spaces away from the y-axis? Well, then you come over here. If it had to start at the y-axis and run away, it would run away 5 spaces. So then you need to also write it is 5 spaces from the y-axis. Okay? All right, so it would start at the y-axis, run 5, and that would put it right there. All right, we'll work on this again tomorrow. You are loved. Bye.